G'day, guys. Welcome back to the Aussie Gooner channel. And I didn't want to do this show. Fuck, Akpos. I didn't want to do this show, bro. Like, fucking hell, man. Anyways, we all know what the fucking results is. And please, I'd like to fucking introduce you to my guy. Everyone knows the man, the myth, the legend, Akpos. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be able to do this show, bro. Are you feeling as fucked as me right now?
Well, I'm very disappointed, just like you are, RC. And what would I say? What would I say? Because I feel like right now we've put in so much pressure on ourselves. We could have been having a more easier ride going into the game with City, but now we have so much fingers pointing at us now because a lot of people feel like we are already crumbling now because they are all what they're saying right now. It's same old Arsenal right now, same old Arsenal. We expected them to drop points. Fine, they're dropping points, and now they are saying now they can say "I told you so." They will drop points. So, but I think like it's also time for us to do our first role as supporters of the football club right now. I think right now than any other time, these players, the manager needs us to support the team. We need to keep letting these guys know that yes, we've had a rough patch for the last two games, but we are here to support you. We are going to support you even when you are not getting the results that we want. So it's for us to, we will definitely bring in our criticism, criticize one or two players, one or two areas where we feel like the team needs to improve. But we should not forget our primary roles as supporters of this football club. Support the team, support the manager, and hopefully we could get something out of the game against City because I feel like that's the game where a lot of people are saying now that's the title decider. So I think we have a massive mountain to climb for that one, but I would want to support the team to come out from that one with a very, very, very positive result.
Look, I think, I couldn't agree with you more. Look, big up Craig in the chat. Big up OG. Big up all of yous. Craig puts up a nice Arteta shouldn't have picked the same team that he lost to Everton. Craig, when we were doing the preview, I was saying maybe we need to see Tomiyasu start instead of Ben White. Does Martinelli start or Trossard? Fuck me, if they had just gone with the guys I was talking about, it would have been a different fucking game. But guys, straight off the bat, we were in slow-mo. And it was Brentford for the first fucking 30, 35 minutes because of the slow build-up play. Because, and correct me if I'm wrong, and everyone in the chat, you guys watched this game. Our build-up play, it was as if we were stalling. Once we'd get on a break, we'd slow down, allow them to get back into shape, right? And let them line up, get their 2 rows of 4, get their 2 banks of 4 all set up so we couldn't break them down. I mean, in this game, I saw us trying to go to the left-hand side, right? And remember what I was saying in the preview? I need Martinelli to cut in. I need him to cut in. And what did I see? Martinelli going wide on the line, wide on the fucking line. And what was he doing wide on the line? Fuck all. He was doing absolutely fuck all. He was useless on the line, losing the ball constantly, never cutting in. Honestly, this game for Martinelli, my goodness, it was a howler. And you know what? Another player that needs to take some fucking credit is Ben White. Fucking Ben White in this game. Oh, don't get me started, Akpos. These 2 players for me in this game, they really let me down.
I hear you. And I cannot disagree with you because you were somebody where you were practically going in for Martinelli to be dropped in that game. And also you pointed out Ben White. And for me, I think like now I cannot disagree with any of your points you've made during the preview show because Martinelli looks like a different player right now. It looks like a player who has dropped confidence. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's fatigue creeping in now because he has been one of the key contributors to how so well we're doing this season. So for me, I would agree with you and every other Arsenal fans that are gunning for Martinelli to be dropped in the game against City. That Trossard should take his place because the way Trossard is playing right now is definitely knocking on Mikel's door and telling him, I want to start in shirt. I want to come in. And Martinelli is not doing himself any good now. So we really need to come up from that game with something very good. So I think if Trossard starts ahead of Martinelli in that game, there would be very few people who would complain about that decision now.
No, I think, to be perfectly honest, in this game, it was two halves of football, and Martinelli wasted 45 minutes he pretty much wasted 45 minutes in this game. He shouldn't have even been on the pitch. I mean, look, Craig has come in and saying his starting lineup for Manchester City. He's done a massive change. And big up Craig. Manchester City, he wants Ramsdale, he wants Tomiyasu, big shout. The Tierney thing, I can understand defensively he's great, but going forward, maybe not the best. But I'll pay that. You know, I know you haven't changed the midfield, and you got Trossard there, my guy, Trossard there instead of Martinelli.
Yeah.
Now Eddie Nketiah didn't do himself any fucking favors in this game either.
Also.
He was MIA. And remember when I said maybe we could play a false nine with Trossard? And I know a lot of people say,
the thing also with Eddie, we both know the strikers would try when they have all of the supplies coming in. We didn't get him a lot of supplies in that game also, so we should not forget about that.
True. That's a
because they were sitting so deep, they made it very difficult for us to create chances for the offensive players. That the goal came from Gabriel Martinelli and Saka's run in between the defenders. So also, I think we didn't create very much in the game in terms of getting those passes that Eddie needs, those supplies that Eddie needs. So I think it definitely can do a lot more better, but we also need to do better in terms of the supply we are giving to our number 9.
Look, you know, that's a good point. It's a good point. And I think I'm not going to hammer on Eddie too much, but he was non-existent in Everton. He was non-existent when it came here against Brentford. Craig's got a really good shout here. Ivan Toney, not seen a striker called Saliba that many problems all season. Now, this is a striker, Craig, that if you remember, you were jumping on my channel before, I was big upping this guy and wanted him over Jesus. I was talking about him for a full season, previous season. And everybody's like, why do you want Toney? I go, you guys haven't seen him. He's a new version of Harry Kane. I go, this guy can assist. He can take a shot. He's a decent player, and he's only going to get better. Yeah, he gave Saliba a hard time. He did, but we didn't do ourselves any favors anyway. We were so far forward and holding onto the ball and doing fuck all with it. Our defenders were holding a very high line. Lenny Moon in the building. Big up, brothers. Remember, I was shot down for 1-1. Bloody oath you were, mate. You were spot on. You were spot on with that. Seriously, I wasn't expecting us to play the same starting 11, man. But you know what? You were dead on with that, Lenny. Seriously, mate. Smash the likes, people. Please. Thank you. It would be much appreciated if you can like, share, and subscribe to content. Turn on the notifications bell so you know when I'm on. And also, if you can, check out the ticker. In the ticker, you're going to see that I've got Akpos in there as well. I want you to go over there to his channel. He's got a new channel, and I want you guys to just click the subscribe button because, to be honest, we're just doing the best we can with what we got at the moment and trying to get you guys the best possible content that we can put together. The second half for me in this game, right? I'm going to jump into a second half for me in this game. I saw Martinelli finally start to look like he was going to start shifting in, but it wasn't doing enough. You know what part of it was a deal breaker for me? When I saw Saka come from the right-hand side, move central, right? Actually pretty much fall into where Martinelli should be cutting in, only to get a shot off on goal. That was our first real shot on goal, and that was our right winger coming in on the bloody left to do the fucking job that Martinelli was supposed to do. Like, I looked at that and I'm thinking, look, I know it's like, oh, Arteta's got to get his tactics right. I understand this. And there's a reason why I'm going to back this just a bit. Martinelli's watching Saka cut in through the middle of the box, pretty much on his side, right? Taking shots. Why hasn't he woken up to the fact that he's got to stop going wide and start cutting in? When Trossard came on, right, what was he doing, Akpos? He was cutting in. That's what I saw. He's cutting in, and he was causing problems. So it couldn't have been Mikel Arteta telling Martinelli to stay wide when Trossard comes in and does the exact opposite. I'm pretty sure that Mikel Arteta would have told Gabriel Martinelli in the fucking change room, I need you to cut in. I'm completely lost here. And Martinelli in this game, for me, I don't know about you, I reckon he'd probably be our worst player on the pitch.
Well, for me, I'll see. I don't want to hammer on just one player. I don't tend to do that a lot of times because at the end of the day, it's a team sport. If the team wins, it's on the team. If the team loses, the team draws, it's also on the team. We can also point a few guys. Just don't go a little bit overboard with the criticism, but definitely Gabriel Martinelli, we need him to do more. And if Trossard comes in the next game to start, I would not complain because Trossard seems to be doing giving us better from what we expect in that wing. But like you rightly said, I think Mikel Arteta will be telling him, Gabriel, you need to cut in a little bit. You need to go inwards some more. But you know, the thing with these offensive players is, I don't know. I think their confidence. They are guys who want to be loved, who want to feel an arm around them. When their confidence is high, definitely they'll perform. So I don't really know what's going on with Martinelli right now. I can't really say, but we are seeing a different player from the player who started the season all flying, who was firing on all cylinders. So I hope that is going to improve because right now we need all of our players playing at their best. If we really want to compete for the title or achieve something significant this season, we need all of our players playing at their best. So this is why our recruitment in this season it's been on the good side. If it was last season, Gabriel Martinelli playing like this, there would be a big worry. But I think like we shouldn't be too worried about what's going on with Martinelli right now because Trossard can come in and get the job done. And maybe what Martinelli needs now is just a breather, just to go down on the bench, sit out on the bench for 60 minutes, and come in on the game. And you understand, it could get back that form. But now he knows that definitely there's somebody competing for my place. So I don't think there could be any. It wouldn't be really relaxed with his form right now. I think he would be as worried as you and I are about the way he's playing, because if he continues like this, Trossard is going to have that starting position ahead of him. So I think like he also would be worried about the way he's playing, and I know that he's a player who seems to love the football club. He has said it over time. He signed a new contract, so I think we should give him some time, cut him some slack. Trossard comes in, and we see how he responds to being dropped potentially from the starting 11. Because that for me it's going to be big, because some players might get dropped and said, okay, might be okay with that. I not want to put in the extra work, might not want to improve and correct those mistakes they've made. But some other players who said, okay, there is a challenge now. Somebody's coming to take my place. I need to up my game. I need to take responsibility. I need to get in the goals. I need to get in the assists. So let's see how he responds potentially if Mikel Arteta drops him in the next game against City.
Yeah, I think it's a good shout. I think Martinelli was a player that used to cut in when Gabriel Jesus was there, but now that he isn't, he just goes wide and he seems a bit lost. I've seen this in a few games, and look, Lenny's got it right. All of our attackers been down the right side. That's right. It's only because our left hand side's been so weak. Now Martinelli being a great player, you know, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. You don't start him, and everyone asks the question, why didn't you start him? Now I've seen it. I've been calling it out a little bit, saying Martinelli's not looking the best at the moment on that left-hand side. And when he is getting the ball, he's losing it. I wanted him out in this game because I just didn't see enough from him from the last 3 games. I didn't. I just thought he looked a little bit flustered. And in this game, it was even more evident. Seriously, I just think to myself that Martinelli in this game could have done a job off the bench, but Trossard came in and started doing exactly what needed to happen. So this is the thing that people have to understand when it comes to a football team. Don't count on it, mate. Here we go. Warren's in the building, guys. Don't forget. Jump onto Warren's team talk. Big up, Warren. Told you a few times, Steve-O, this guy is tactically not up to it. Well, Warren, it's not about tactics here. It's not tactics. It's about making the big boy moves, right? Tactics isn't about it. When you talk tactics, there's a few ways you look at tactics, guys. I want to break it down real quick. Either you change your formations, you change your player roles. You get what I'm saying? You change the phase of attack, how they're going to be moving. Now, no team changes its formation in a game unless they go down to 10 men. That's not going to happen. Most teams don't have two formations that they're going to switch up and play in, right? Unless you're down to 10 men. And then it shouts from the corner. The issue that I had here was that if Arteta can see what I can see, where Martinelli's having problems cutting in from the left-hand side, a big move needed to be made in this game. And I think Trossard should have started. Now, credit where credit's due, he did take Martinelli out early, but I think Trossard should have started he should have started this game from the get-go. Warren's got, this team needs width and players who can go down the flanks on both sides, not through the center, which opposition deliberately trying to compact. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. if you can have two wingers that can bomb down either side. You always want yourself a winger that can go wide and cut in, and you always want a winger that's very strong cutting in. Do you get me? Like, if you've got a player who can put a ball in, bomb a ball in from the right-hand side, that's great, and he's very good at it. And he can come in from the wide end, right? That's wonderful. But you also want a player who's really good and direct and can cut in. See, Saka has most of his opportunities. He's always cutting in from the side of the box and then cutting into the box, right? Wiggles his way in and crosses the ball in. Now, that's great to have, but you also want a player on the left-hand side who can be a bit direct. That's the kind of guy that works with your striker, and they can 1-2 and come through. And that's what's been happening with Martinelli. If you have two players bombing down from both sides, that's old-fashioned 4-4-2, mate. I know it sounds great. It won't always work. You want a different dynamic. I don't know if you agree with me, Akpos, but that's the way I see it. You don't want it to be the same one-dimensional. This guy's just going to go down the flank and cross. This guy's going to go down the flank and cross. It becomes too easy to read.
Yeah, and also I wanted to touch about something I noticed that, Mikel, I think we could potentially see a lot more this season, because with teams trying to sit back, while Brentford were trying to sit back, there was one of the changes Mikel did when he took out Granit Xhaka and brought in Fabio Vieira, who was more like another 8, like Martin Odegaard, where you have two players who are very creative. When teams trying to sit back, these guys could potentially unlock defenses. I think in some of these games where we'll play some of this, not the so-called big guns, I think we might see this, where it starts Martin Odegaard and Fabio Vieira. I think we might need
ESR?
Or ESR if he's fit, and when he's fit. I think we might need two players who are very attacking in that midfield area. Thomas Partey seems to be equal to the task in terms of doing the defensive duty. I think in some games where some teams would want to sit that deep for us, we might need that two attacking midfielders who would unlock defenses and create opportunities for our number 9 and our wing players.
I think ESR would be a good shot in that position. I also think when ESR comes back, I still reckon that false nine can be played by Trossard. Now, if Trossard does play a false 9, his link-up play is good. He's good on the ball. I know he's not the strongest when it comes to holding up the ball, but he can link up very well. Very Jesus-esque. That might work. But it allows for depth. Warren's got another one. The ex-gunner. I'm sorry, mate. Eating here. Morning, mate. Oh, we got Warren. We have an elite crosser and top draw on the bench. I know you're talking about Kieran Tierney. Yes, he's a good defender, but he doesn't offer me nothing going forward. Really, not as much as Zinchenko. Now, I like Tierney. I like him for certain games. I think our main problem was Ben White. Wouldn't you agree, Warren? Ben let me down. If you look at the goal that was scored, that was offside. I'm not saying that. You can see what Ben was doing. He was watching the ball. Bloody hell, mate, if Tomiyasu was there. But look, end of the day, Kieran Tierney over Zinchenko, it's a shout. But I think Zinchenko didn't put too many feet wrong in this game. He was caught out once or twice. But I just think to myself, I don't know, going forward, it's a tough call. I don't know about you, but against Manchester City, I don't know. I think I'd want Zinchenko because he knows the team. Not for anything else, though.
Personally, I would want to go with Zinchenko because I agree with what you said. I don't think like we were troubled a lot more in that the left side where Zinchenko played as a left back. So also with the fact that he understands the team, he knows the way they are going to step up and all. So I think like Zinchenko needs to start. I think it gives us a lot more going forward in that role and brings a lot more solidity when we are in possession of the ball. And in terms of the way we play, and we know Man City would want to, press us also because I think we play similar style to the way they play also. So Zinchenko gives us more of that counter to when teams are pressing us and we want to play back. I think Zinchenko can do that much more better than Tierney if we want to play out from the back.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Warren's come out and said it's time to stop the inverted fullback nonsense. Unfortunately, everyone's doing it.
I think this one has come to stay.
Yeah, I hate to say it, Warren. Once upon a time, we played 4-4-2. It was a left back, a right back, a centre back, Centre backs weren't moving forward. No one played out from the back. Those days are gone, man. I miss 4-4-2. I miss fucking goalkeeper just hoofing it up. But now we've got goalkeepers who have to be able to play the ball. We've got wing backs who are literally inverted, have to come forward. The game's changed. I hate to say it, but the game has changed. I love a left back to be a left back, a right back to be a right back. But at the end of the day, you look at what Reece James provides for Chelsea. Look what Reece James does for them. No Reece James, Chelsea is useless. And once upon a time, Trent Alexander-Arnold, you could make the same sort of argument for him. I mean, he's fucked now because he can't defend, but yeah. Trossard has played centre forward in the past. Yes, he has. You got me, man. And you know what? I was saying in the preview that he could play the false nine. Now, guys, we saw the changes in the in the second half. I was happy when I saw Trossard come in for Martinelli. And it wasn't long after that Trossard got his first goal. And where was it? It was a ball in. He was inside the box and he finished it like it was clean, crisp. It was world class. The finish was exactly what we were expecting from Trossard when he signed. A kind of guy that's clinical, and he got his first goal. I saw that goal. It was fucking wonderful. I was jumping for joy. I don't know about you, Akpos, but that was great build-up play for that goal. And Trossard in the right position. I mean, Martinelli, in my mind, would have probably been at the corner flag, but Trossard was right on.
I think we'll see more goals from Trossard this season. I'm confident about that. I'm excited about what he could bring to this team moving forward for the rest of the season, because it looks like a player who would not come into the team. He's already gone in for Martinelli's place in this team, and he's already contributing to our goals. In the game against Manchester United, when he came in, we saw that it gave our team a lift. It contributed to our goal. So we have a player in our hands. So even if it's not starting, when he comes into the game, it's going to be an impact substitution. It's going to be a player who wants to impact the game, who wants to get a goal for us, get an assist for us. So if he starts also, and with the fact that he can also play in different positions, we can also see him on the right side. We can see him as a center forward, like Craig is saying. We can also see him as a false nine, see him on the left. So for me, we have a very, very decent player in our hands.
Versatile.
Very versatile. And I'm excited about what he could bring. And I hope that he's going to get more goals and more assists for us moving forward.
Oh, mate, so do I. And Lenny, this is exactly what I was thinking. Playing a nine means more support to Saka, Martinelli, and the link-up play between him and Odegaard will be even better as well. So I look at that, the fluidity. The only thing is, it's his hold-up play. Can he hold up the ball like Jesus? I don't think he's got the strength. But I think he can play the false nine role. Pace, strength, composure. Balogun is going to cook at Arsenal. Facts, Craig. Facts. This guy is doing fucking bits. And if and when he comes back, he's not allowed to go. He's not allowed to go anywhere. He comes back and fights for his position. Seriously. Balogun is a player right now. I don't know about you, Akpos, who is showing some fucking class on loan. Seriously, I'm excited about that.
With what Balogun is doing in the first Ligue 1 right now, I think we have a very good player in our hands, and I'm excited about what he could contribute. But definitely, there are big clubs who are going in for him also. We should not forget that. There have been talks of some of the Italian giants keeping an eye of his progress and what he's doing right now. So we need to also try to convince the player to stay, because there are some clubs who are playing in Europe elite competition who will be trying to keep an eye on him and looking if they could bring him potentially as an addition to their squad to contribute also for them. So we really need to convince him. And for me, I think he's going to be willing to fight for his place if he wants to continue at the Arsenal, because Gabriel Martinelli is somebody who plays on the left, who can also play as a center forward also, because if he goes down to the striking positions, I think it's going to be hard for him to break into the team, because we have Gabriel Jesus, we have Eddie Nketiah, who's playing currently as the number 9. So it's not going to be an easy route for following Balogun. But if he does come, I think he's definitely going to be ready to work for this position. And when his time comes, I hope that he could take it and force his way also into the team, because Eddie seems to be going for Gabriel Jesus' place right now. Ooh. Gabriel Jesus, when he comes back, is going to have Eddie to compete with, and Balogun comes into the picture. I think this is what we want to see as football fans of this football club. We want to see players, going in for one particular position. And when these players are all guys who could potentially come into the team and contribute goals, contribute assists, we will be as excited as we are right now talking about what Balogun is doing. And I'm hoping that when the time comes, is going to decide to wear that green and white JC that is behind me right now. This way, that green and white JC, that's what he picks to represent.
Is that where he's going?
If you hear me, make sure you make the right decision. Play for the Nigerian national team, the Super Eagles.
That is a big decision to be made, mate. I don't know. But you know what? Look, Lenny's got himself a really good question here. What about trying Kawara as a DM? What are your thoughts, fellas? Now, the problem is I don't know too much about him. I don't know too much about him. He looks promising.
I think we might see this, Lenny. I think we might see this in some game, but I don't know. That's going to be if it comes down to that, because when Kiwior was at Spezia and Thiago Motta was still the manager of the Spezia team, Kiwior played a lot of games as a DM during his time at Spezia. So I don't know if Mikel Arteta will want to try that potentially, but let's see how it goes.
Definitely. Now, we're going to go to the controversy now. Let's just cover the controversy and get it over and done with. The goal that Brentford has scored. Now, I saw the goal, and I didn't see it for offside off the get-go. Now, I don't know about you guys in the comments. I don't know about you, Akpos. When I saw the goal, I just noticed two things. Only two things. The push in the back of Zinchenko. I don't know if you saw that, when Zinchenko looked like he got run over by Tony. And watching Ben White watch the ball. Literally watch the ball. Not move, not in position, but watch the ball. I saw those two things. It was only afterwards till they started looking at it till we could all see the offside. Why the fuck wasn't a line drawn? I'll never know. And does this mean someone's job, Akpos? Because in my mind, this is 2 times. I don't want a third strike. I want him out. This weekend, this match week that's gone by, Chelsea should have had a penalty. And clear handball, right? Brighton had a goal disallowed because the line was drawn in the wrong position on the wrong player. And we had a goal allowed for no offside, nothing, and no line drawn. I mean, this VAR was supposed to make things better, and I've got idiots at the fucking helm. I'm happy. Right now, I'm looking for someone's head. And I think at the moment, for Arsenal, I think these 3 points could be make or break for the Premier League, for the Premier League title. I don't know about you, Akpos. What are your vibes on this? Seriously, with the VAR call, what was it?
Yeah, I don't think you are wrong for you to be gunning for someone's head right now, because if it happens once, it's a mistake. If it happens the second time, then they have to look into it. I don't think it's a mistake anymore. And it's the same man who has been on the wrong side of 2 wrong decisions, not going in the favor of Arsenal. So when I look at the whole situation, I think it's high time it gets pulled out from any Arsenal games. I think the club and Mikel Arteta should be making sure that they file a complaint against him and tell the Premier League or the FA or the refereeing body that, look, this guy is not competent. We would not want him representing you or being part of any of our future game. We are protesting against him because you have just one job. Why don't you rule the lines? And the first time he made a mistake in the game against Man City, they came out to put on a statement. And this one again, you're making another mistake. That's 2 points. That's 4 points dropped. I'm sorry, 3 points in the Man U game, 2 points now. That's 5 points dropped. And the way the league is right now, last season we saw that Man City only won the league with just 1 point difference. Even 1 point could be vital for a team. 1 point could be what push you over the finish line to winning the title. 1 point could be what pushes you over the finish line to escape relegation.
Exactly.
So all of those points are going to be difference makers. If people make such kind of mistakes in their jobs, some of them get sacked, some of them get suspended or something. We want to see actions like this. We want to see actions in terms of what these referees are doing, because they are guys who are supposed to be top professionals. And at the end of the day, if they can't get the job done, then the Premier League should be looking at bringing in referees from other countries who could potentially get the job done. Because personally, I watched the Italian Serie A, I watched the La Liga, I watched the Bundesliga, and these other leagues, I don't see refereeing decisions that are this poor. Those guys are utilizing the VAR very well. We could see that the application of this technology that was brought in to make it a lot more easier for the referees. But these guys are continuing to make mistakes that we've seen even before the development of VAR. But now you have VAR, you have just one job. Why do the line? It's not like you're going to read the line manually. You have a system that is put in place for you there. Click the button and it has everything drawn for you. So I don't know. I think it's high time that Arsenal start and all these clubs that are affected, not just Arsenal now, because over this weekend we've seen some results go against some clubs who could have gained all 3 points or maybe get something out of the game. So I think it's time these guys start complaining to the Premier League body and also to the refereeing bodies that you have to up your standards. There have to be consequences when your guys are not doing their job, not getting the job done. So I think it's high time we see an upgrade on these referees, and if they can't get the job done, bring in referees from other countries, professionals from other countries, because we see players from other countries coming to the league and they're doing well. So why is it that the referees are untouchable? They can make mistakes and get away with it. We want to see repercussions. We want to see consequences for actions going forward in terms of the referee and the utilization of VAR.
See, for me, I don't want just a suspension because that's just like a little holiday. I don't want that. I don't want any suspensions. I think that's bullshit. I think it's time that the clubs make a stand. Man United have been screwed this season. Liverpool have been screwed this season. Chelsea have been screwed this season. We were screwed this season. We've been screwed again this season. Now Brighton, now Chelsea again. Everybody's been screwed. I can name those teams. All those teams now have all been screwed 2 times, including Arsenal, by VAR, by referees. And it's becoming a little bit too much of a consistency, too consistent. Everyone was talking about Granit Xhaka and betting scandals and yellow cards and is he doing this and is he doing that? Why can't we ask the same question of the VAR? When I've got, oh, we're not going to look for an offside, we're not going to draw a line, or I drew the line in the wrong spot. What are you fucking blind? Are you fucking blind, mate? You drew the line. Can you not? If you can't see the other player on the fucking screen, mate, put your hand up. Get the fuck out of Dodge, mate. Seriously. It's an absolute shit show. This is supposed to be the best league in the world, bar none. And we've got the worst referees in the world, bar none.
Exactly. And if players could be investigated, I think it's high time some of those refereeing decisions should be investigated also. Because some of these guys, they come and they say they made a mistake. Well, not just one time. So you're making it more than one. I think it's high time some of these guys should be investigated also. If they think some players are getting sent off, are getting yellow cards, are being investigated for betting scandals and all, I think it's high time they start to investigate some of these referees too, because they cannot seem to be the guys that are untouchable. Because these decisions they are making are affecting the results. So why can't they be investigated also? So I think it's high time we start seeing consequences.
I think if referees aren't pulled up for their mistakes, then this is just going to continue, and it won't stop. There'll be no repercussions for their actions. They'll be able to get away with it. And what's stopping them from continuing to do this? Now I know it's like, oh, they wouldn't do this, no, they wouldn't. That betting scandals and all that. How do I know? It's human nature. We can accuse a player. Like Akpos is saying, we're not allowed to accuse a referee.
Referees should be excluded from being accused also.
Exactly. They're human just like the players. They're susceptible to being a little bit, for the dollars and cents of it all day. I mean, end of the day, this game could have been ours from the get-go. We do have ourselves to blame for the first half. We do. There was no urgency. It was lackluster. Maybe there were tactical mistakes made. I think Mikel Arteta should have started Trossard minimum. The Ben White on Tomiyasu. Oh, okay, whatever. But I still believe Tomiyasu would have been a better shout. That ball would not have gone. That ball, to be perfectly honest, wouldn't have made it to Ivan Toney if Tommy was there. Plain and simple. Tommy's a better defender. But at the end of the day, we've just dropped 3 points. That's in my mind. I know we got 1, but in my mind, we've just dropped 3 points. In my mind, we've just dropped 6 points. Everton and now Brentford, because this was a must-win. We now have to go and face City in what looks like a shit run of form. And it worries me now because now it starts to make me think about this team, Akpos. I don't know about you. Are they going to be able to now bounce back? They should have bounced back against Everton. They should have bounced back against Brentford. Now they have to bounce back against a team like Manchester City. This is not an Everton. This is not a Brentford, which should have been easy. This is a team that scores goals for fun. Are these boys going to show up, bounce back, and show us what they're made of? Or are they just going to fold and crumble? I've got a bad feeling that this game might not go our way, Akpos.
I think we've had some mountains to climb in this season, but now I think we have Mount Everest now. This is like this is like the biggest mountain for us to climb. And I've backed this team because they've shown me this season, because every time where it seems like the pressure is high, they've been stepping up to the occasion. They've been showing that, yes, we could get the job done. But now they have a lot of, I think now they have a lot of doubters. They have a lot of people doubting their credentials. They have a lot of people saying, okay, it's same old Arsenal. But I think I want to support this team also at this moment to, give them the push they need to come out from this mountain, because I think I don't believe that there's anything that's impossible. And one thing I've seen from this Manchester City side this season is the fact that we've seen them play very close to be looking like a side that could go a season unbeaten in the last couple of years. But this season, they are not looking like that side. They are looking like a team that could get beat if you show that you want it more. So for me, I know that it's going to be a very big task for us. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a walk across the park on Wednesday. It's going to be a very tough mountain to climb. But if we show that we want it more, Man City is there for the taking, in my opinion. They look like a side to beat. And if they can get it done, I think it eliminates all that about this team now.
Of course. I'd be with you on that. If we can go at them, and I mean, look, Craig's already saying it. If we play like we did against Brentford, we lose 4-1. Bloody oath, yes. Bloody oath. You're spot on. If our back line falls apart like it did against Brentford, we got lucky with that Saliba foul. Well, it would have been a goal. You know what I mean? We would have been 1-0 down the first half. We need to start. I think we need to take a deep breath and start playing football and start believing in ourselves. But if we do show up to City like we did Brentford, and it takes us 45 minutes to get in gear, great, I'm with you. We're going to get hammered, mate. We're going to get absolutely hammered. Now, Lenny doesn't agree. I don't think it'll be a whitewash, but based on what I've seen 2-1 City. And you know what? That's a possibility too. The problem is I've seen Arsenal play better. These games that I'm seeing now, this is kind of football that I haven't seen Arsenal play this whole season. But now, out of nowhere, we've become a shadow of ourselves. And I hate to say it, but Lenny, Craig, you guys are both right. It's looking more likely that City are going to get a win here without even kicking the ball yet, the way we're playing. These guys really have to pick themselves up and really start playing for that badge. Because if they don't, we could go from first to fifth very quick. Craig, could easily have been 3-0 down to Brentford in the first half. Bloody oath, Ivan Toney hits the bar, and that foul on Saliba could have been 2 easily. If Ivan Toney was Ivan Toney in the first half, it was 1 goal there. And that little silly foul on Saliba, which I'll take because it's kind of maybe, whatever, we were 2-0 down. And then what? Do you know what I mean? It's the sense of urgency at the moment, and I don't know if you feel me, Akpos, is when we're building up our play, it's too slow. It's like tired legs. It's like we're trying. It's like we're not going through the motions. It feels as if we're just going through and trying to get a couple of passes through, and we think that we can hold teams in their third and get a goal, when in actual fact, it's the quicker the play, the more chances we've had. And it showed in the Brentford game. Once it was one-touch passing, we were going through. But as soon as it was slow build-up play, look at the stats. Look at the stats. 69.2% possession to Arsenal, 30% to Brentford. Look at the shots difference. I think we've just lost Akpos, guys. He'll hopefully get back. Look at the shots. Can you guys believe this? It's a fucking joke. And I mean, don't get me wrong with the VAR shit, but look, it's an absolute joke. It's an absolute joke. Akpos, Lenny's wondering if you can put your link in the chat. Let me see if it's in. Let me see. What is it? It's
okay. Let me try to put that up. Yeah.
What's our poll looking like right now? Akpos,
Just a
Martinelli, or
minute.
Trossard?
Just a minute. The last time I checked, it was still 100% for Trossard to start the game.
Wow.
Let me pull it up. I think everybody's agreeing to that decision for Trossard to start ahead of Gabriel Martinelli. I think it's still 100%. It's still 100%. No votes for Trossard not to start. So I think it's a clear one.
It's a whitewash. Yeah. Akpos, please chuck that in for Lenny. That's a good shout. If you put it in the chat, that way people can just click away. Okay, definitely. I'll also, guys, if you look at this banner, you'll see Akpos there as well, guys. You have to subscribe to his channel. You have to, guys. Good people. We're trying to call it the way it is, but to be perfectly honest, Arsenal didn't do themselves any favors when it came to this game. And that would be the same for the Everton game as well. Both these games showed us, I mean, most people would look at this game and say, have the other teams figured out how to play against Arsenal? Have they figured us out? And you could somewhat agree that maybe the 5 in the middle, 4 in the back, you know what I mean, is bad enough, or 4 in the back, or 3 in the back in some instances, is good enough to beat Arsenal. I think Mikel Arteta has a lot of work to do. He needs to bring this team back mentally. He needs to get into focus. And he also has to start trying to figure out how to counter these formations. I don't know if you guys agree in the chat, but I think Mikel Arteta's got a lot of work ahead of him when it comes to trying to figure out how Arsenal move forward. Because if every team comes to the Emirates, or we go to them, play 5 in the middle, we're screwed. We're screwed all day. We just seem like we can't play through them. The other thing is, I want to see Mikel Arteta trying to energize this team. I think he needs to drop the hammer. I think the Martinelli on the bench for Trossard, that's a hammer already. That will be enough for them to understand that there is consequences. The Ben White on the bench for Tomiyasu is saying, it's time for you guys to wake the fuck up, because if you're not going to show up to these games, if you're going to put in shitty performances, the bench is for you. I don't care how big your name is. Senny, good to see you. Please, guys, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, check her out. Hope you're doing well.
Can I say something, Ossie?
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen this story about Ivan Toney getting abuses and racist direct messages on his Instagram account after the Arsenal.
No, I haven't. There's no room for that.
That's something that is building up right now. I think the Premier League has issued a statement to condemn all of that. I don't know if these idiots or these useless people, if they feel like they are Arsenal fans. I don't think that they are Arsenal fans for me, because that was a player doing his job, getting the goal scored. I don't understand where all of this racial abuses and insults directed towards Ivan Toney is coming from. And it's a chain that is happening after the Arsenal game. So I'm just seeing it now, and for me, I don't think like they speak for Arsenal fans. These guys are just being very stupid people, and they are not speaking for all of us, because you are part of the Arsenal community. I'm part of the Arsenal community, and we would not even think of something like that after our team did not get the result we are looking for. So I don't think like these guys, they do not represent the Arsenal community. They do not represent us as Arsenal fans. So I just wanted to bring that to your notice.
I can't believe I'm hearing this. The one thing I can't stand is racism. And to go at Ivan Toney in a racial way just because we've lost a game, it's not Ivan's fault that he scored that goal. If that was Gabriel Jesus who scored an offside goal or whatever it may be, we'd still be celebrating, saying, ha, 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 ha,
exactly.
Ha. Okay? So it's tit for tat. No, look, there's no room for racism in football. And there is no excuses for it at all. And to be honest, it's always a small bunch of people that are going to come out from nowhere and, we're Arsenal fans, but I'm going to act the fool. Do you know what I mean? And of course, it doesn't represent the wider community. And I know it doesn't represent anyone in the chat or anyone that I know, because to be perfectly honest, some of the greatest players that have fucking graced us with their presence in the Premier League were not English. They were Italians, they were Spanish, they were Nigerian, some were Australian, Mark Viduka. And if this is the case and we want it to go back to English football, then I guarantee you it won't be the best league in the world anymore. Do you know what I mean? Exactly. It's about multiculturalism at the end of the day, guys. And to be perfectly honest, Ivan Toney, he did nothing wrong. And if Arsenal fans have a problem with Ivan Toney, they can have a problem with him, his attitude, his tweets, and this and that. That's fine. But his race, nah, there'll be fucking none of that. There'll be fucking none of that. Yeah, good on you. It's awful. They're not Arsenal fans. No, they're not. They're not. Exactly. They're not Arsenal fans. They're not football fans. They're just a bunch of mugs. They're just low lives. And you know what? Low lives are usually, you know what they are? They're little keyboard warriors trying to be fucking heroes. And in real life, they're just cowards. They're just cowards. That's all they are. They're the same fans being racist.
And I love this one from Lenny. I love this one from Lenny. I love this one. And this is the part that we don't want to see in football. When players are playing so well, these idiots are the ones screaming the name of those players. They are singing their name, they are shouting, but immediately they've made a mistake. Immediately they misses a penalty. All of those abuses, all of those racial slur, we begin to hear them.
And it's uncalled for. It is unfucking. It's. Look, to be perfectly honest, we're. How can I say it? Like, we can't. We got to take people for who they are, plain and simple. Because at the end of the day, if you've got a problem with somebody's race, their complexion, without even talking to them, you've got problems upstairs, and it's not them that has the problem. It's you that has the problem. You need to seek some help. Seriously. Some of the best players that have played for Arsenal, some of the best players, Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira, Dennis Bergkamp, not English, Robert Pires, Emmanuel Petit, not English, Jens Lehmann, not English, none of them are English, Kolo Touré, not English, Bakary Sagna, not English,
Lauren.
And what you guys are going to go on fucking Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney was a guy that I wanted at Arsenal. I still wanted Arsenal. Exactly. So now, just like Lenny said, those same people that were coming out on Ivan Toney and go at him racially, you'd be kissing his feet if he was wearing an Arsenal kit, wouldn't you? But now that he plays for somebody else who want to come out racist, fuck, mate, look yourselves in the fucking mirror. Look inward. Look fucking inward. It's fucking disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. There needs to be more punishment for them too. Bloody oath. Bloody oath. If you're gonna go at any player and you're gonna take it to the race card, look, go at them. You know, I go to games and I get personal. I get in their face. I start talking some trash. I talk some shit just to get in their minds. But race, come on. Trust me, I'm from Australia. I know what racism is. It's not fucking great, but we've come to a point in society that we've moved so far ahead that race shouldn't even be something we consider anymore. It's something that we take in and say, "Oh wow, that's interesting. I wonder what this person, what this person can offer." It's like flavor, something different. Not, "Oh, I'm not going to sit next to them or her." Fuck off if you got that. If you've got that attitude, go get fucked. Big up, Craig. Kick racism out. Bloody oath. Bloody oath. Bloody oath. Well said, Craig. Well said. Look, guys. To be honest, that was the Brentford game. It wasn't something I really wanted. I didn't want to do this review, but you know what? It had to happen. I've got problems with two players at the moment in my mind that really, in the last couple of games, have look, they're not the worst players, but in the last couple of games need a bit of a rest. I think Tomiyasu needs to come in for Ben White. Guys, let me know in the comments what you think. And I think, of course, Trossard comes in for Martinelli. Now, Trossard could also come in for Nketiah and play that false nine that I was talking about before. Now, I know we've played the false nine before, but it's an approach that we could use. Not against Manchester City, but maybe throughout the season. That's still, we still got plenty of games to play. We could possibly try and approach games with Trossard as a false nine whilst Jesus is still coming back from his injuries. But we're never going to know. I mean, we've got Manchester City to worry about next. I will be doing a preview for that game. God help us if we play like we did against Brentford and Everton against Manchester City. I don't know about you, Akpos, but fuck me. We need to show up, mate.
Definitely, we have to show up. We have to show up. We have to show up for me.
Yeah. Guys, this is what you see in the comments here is Akpos's channel. Please check it out. There is also a link in the description to this vid. If you look on the ticker, you'll also see the Football Talk Shop is there as well. So guys, just type in, Football Talk Shop and you will find Akpos's channel. Like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to do that. The guy's he knows his football. He knows his football. Now, as soon as Europa comes back, that will show you the real team and tactics. Bloody oath. because that's when we're going to have to start chopping and changing and starting to try to stretch this squad out even further. And this worries me, Lenny, because right now it's just Premier League and we're struggling. So I think a lot of teams right now are looking at us and thinking, geez, I wonder if they're going to just fall off and disappear. I hope that these boys can show us that they've got the cojones, as they would.
I love the way the whole thing is building up around Arsenal right now. Yeah. Because some of these teams will be looking at us now that yes, we can take on them. We can sit back and hate them. I think now is the time for us to, show them that you will be making a mistake. Come at us and we'll make you pay. I think I love that teams with their confidence will be a little bit more higher than the way we were playing at the start of the season when we're putting everybody to the side. I think now it's a time for us to reflect and okay, let's go back to what we're doing so right. And teams are looking at us now like, okay, we have an opportunity. So let them come with that energy and we should, step up and get the job done as we've been doing for most part of the season.
Yeah, we have. Look. Let's be honest, guys. We've played more matches playing some fluent, clean football than we have been playing like this Shambhala football. It has cost us some points, but we are where we are not because of luck, but because of merit. We have been playing expansive and attractive football, and at the moment, the way I see it, I think we can continue. I mean, we can get back to winning ways, not continue, but get back into winning ways. Because right now, it can't get any worse. Plus, teams have dropped points from the Champions League. God help us. Plus, teams have dropped from the Champions League. I know, man. I know, Lenny. I know, mate. We just have to hope and pray that this team wakes the fuck up, really wakes the fuck up, and decides to come to play some football. Because if they don't wake up, this could be the beginning of the end. I doubt that very much, though. I do believe that when we show up against City, we are going to show up to them to fight. If we don't, to be honest, guys, it's not going to be an interesting season. It's going to be fucking horrible. But I think the City game is going to show us something. It's going to show us if these players are here to play football for Arsenal Football Club or just to fucking fuck about, to be honest. Already subbed, your stuff for sure. Big up, Senny. Big up. Guys, look, really appreciate you guys joining. Really, really appreciate you guys joining us for this show today. Give the team a Red Bull. A Red Bull. Give them 5 Red Bulls, mate. 5, mate. Just get them going, mate. I just want them going for 70 minutes. After that, all out defend. I don't care. Park the bus. Mourinho-esque football. I don't care. I just need 3 points, Lenny. Guys, big up for joining us tonight, today or this morning or whatever you want to call it. If you haven't already, please subscribe to Akpos's channel. Link is in the description below. It's also in the chat, by all means. The poll has pretty much told us that Martinelli should be sitting on his ace and we should have Trossard starting. Sounds fucking great, to be honest. Great content for you, but thank you, Manny. Much appreciated, mate. Thank you for joining us, guys. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Seriously, big up everybody. Got stung by the bees. No sting by the refs. Laugh out loud. Chelsea OG.
You are Draw FC right now. You're Draw FC right now. So you don't have no mouth to come on this show and talk Chelsea OG until you win a game. Until you win an away game, you've not won one. Until you win an away game, you can come on this stream and talk and say something. Right now, you're Draw FC.
600 million spent, and Fulham, the pride of West London. I don't know. 600 million spent, and you guys are where, Chelsea OG? Do you see this tosser? You want to have a laugh? He scored more goals than Mudryk for Arsenal. Oh, and guess what? He only cost 27 million. Oh, wait, Akpos. I'm sorry, he wasn't 85 million, but he couldn't be any good. He mustn't be a good player. Back to the Wenger days. I wants to play Draw FC. That's a good one.
Big up, Chelsea OG. Big up.
We need to stop blaming refs and play better. Arsenal, Alex, I'm with you. Yes, we should have had that game won and done before the goal. But I don't blame refs. I don't usually come out at refs, but that one was blatant. And not just that one. I came out and talked about Brighton and also the penalty that Chelsea should have fucking gotten. Come on. That's a bit much. Man United have been ripped off this season and so have Liverpool. So I'm just as a whole, I'm upset as an Arsenal fan, but we should have finished this game off. But look, we've only got ourselves to blame. Seriously, only got ourselves to blame. Senny, you know us. We can't let it slide. We can't let it slide. Chelsea OG, big up, my man. Big up. Thank you for joining us.
Big up, man.
Guys, honestly, really appreciate you guys jumping in today. To be perfectly honest, you are going to see me back for a preview. Akpos, if you could join me, that would be fucking phenomenal. I'd love to have you back on.
I would definitely be on that one.
Love it. Love it. So, guys, if you haven't already, like, share, subscribe, turn on the notifications. Akpos's channel in the links and in the chat. From the Aussie Gooner, from Akpos, from everyone here, it's Uru, guys. Uru.